Be so honest right now. Have you ever gone on a win streak in MarvelRivals feeling like the main character, and suddenly the game throws you in lobbies with AFK healers, tanks, and spawn that are writing poetry in all chat, and it feels like the enemy is esports ready? It's not just bad luck. It is worse than bad luck. It's called EOMM, Engagement Optimized Matchmaking. A system designed not to match your skills, but to emotionally manipulate you like a clingy situationship. Let's break down how this system works, how it messes up your matches, and how you can fight back. Disclaimer. This video is based on publicly available information and player experiences. I'm not affiliated with NetEase, and none of this is confirmed by MarvelRivals developers. These are community observations and personal interpretations meant to open up discussion, not official statements. So what is EOMM? It stands for Engagement Optimized Matchmaking. It's an algorithm built to keep you emotionally invested in the game. Not necessarily to give you fair matches, but to keep you coming back, clinging to Q one more time. From the company's point of view, it makes complete sense. The longer you stay online, the more likely you are to spend money on skins, bundles, and battle passes. If you're not playing, you're not paying. So what's the game's solution? Create an environment that commands your attention, keeps you engaged, chasing wins, rendering you hooked. Now that we've established what the system is, let's see how it works. When you decide to queue, the matchmaking AI gets to work. It doesn't just check your rank or MMR or your skills. It evaluates your wins and losses history or streaks, your skill gap, your queue time tolerance, your playstyle, your usual counters, your KDA, your main characters, how positive or negative you are in chat, the friends you queue up with, and most importantly, your churn rate. What is a churn rate? It's a fancy term for how likely the player is about to quit the game for a specific time. If the system thinks you are at risk of leaving, it may throw you a winnable match to pull you back in. The algorithm will predict the match outcome before the game even starts. That is why you'll often feel like you're on a roller coaster. You win a bunch, feel great, dopamine is rushing through your veins, and suddenly, the game hits you with soul-crushing defeats. It's a yo-yo effect on purpose. This algorithm builds a specific profile to your account. It knows all your habits and stats, probably your purchases as well. Some believe that buying skins may give you better matchups. Once again, not confirmed, but it is a theory that losing to people with skins will incite you to spend more for those skins. As I've mentioned, the profile is specific to the account. The profile of account number 1 will be different from account number 2. Now let's say account number 2 is a smurf and account number 1 is boosted. The algorithm will know that information after a couple matches. It will calibrate the data around those accounts and react to it. Account number 1, boosted, will receive negative adjustments to pull them down, while account number 2 will receive positive adjustments to rank them higher and faster. It uses a hidden MMR to decide where you really belong. So if you smurf, your hidden MMR will be taken into consideration. If for whatever reason you are not familiar with the terms boosted or smurf, boosted is someone who got help from higher ranked players to reach a higher rank themselves. Smurfing is when a higher ranked player decides to play in lower ranked divisions on an alternate account. How do we outsmart the system, and why should we care to do so? A reminder that EOMM does not care that much about skill-based matchups. It cares about your engagement, your attention. This algorithm is looking for quantity and not quality, because quantity means more time spent on the game. Imagine this. You just won 10 games in a row, 5 MVPs, you are stomping on the enemy team like crazy. It feels good to win, it feels good to dominate, and your climbing is a walk in the park. While riding the high of winning, you decide to queue just one more. That is when the EOMM decides that you might log off after 11 wins. Instead of giving you one more win, it decides to calculate and assemble a team that will make you lose, matching you against your counters. Defeat. Unsatisfied, maybe blaming it on a lack of luck, you queue again. Defeat. And again. Defeat. And again. Defeat. Winner's queue or loser's queue, we all experience it one day or another. Obviously, if you are in bronze and you always end up with a score of 7 kills and 20 deaths on Spider-Man, I don't want to hear you blaming EOMM for your lack of improvement on the game or characters. I will say it very clearly, with or without EOMM, you will climb as far as your skills will permit. EOMM makes the climb considerably slower. How do we handle this system? It's an algorithm, and so it analyzes patterns, habits, behavior. If you try to be unpredictable, it will be harder for the algorithm to understand your profile. That means logging in or logging off at different times, taking more breaks, queuing with friends if you play solo, or queuing solo if you play with friends. Play only 3 matches a day, play 7 matches the next day. Change your playstyle, learn other characters, learn how to counter your counters. If you're negative in chat, try to be positive for an entire day. Be unpredictable. That way, the algorithm has less control on your emotional engagement with the game, meaning fewer forced match outcomes. Now, I'll tell you a secret and an easy way to dodge this type of matchmaking. Are you listening? Log off. You lost 2 or 3 matches? Log off, for the love of God. The more you play, the less EOMM is worried you'll leave. At that point, you are a donkey who keeps pressing start mindlessly. Why wouldn't the game give you some more losses? You seem to stay on the game anyways. You could log off for 2 hours and come back. Close your account completely. Supposedly, an 8-hour break with no activity on your account is how you clear the EOMM fog. You could also try to cap your competitive session to 4 or 5 hours max. If you are a solo queue player like me, you might want to find people to queue with, 1 or 2 people ideally. Oh, and stop flaming everyone in chat. You are only giving ammunition to the algorithm. If you are wondering why you are always surrounded by negative people in your matches, that is simply because the algorithm has paired you with your own negative kind. Be more positive, or simply say nothing at all. So yeah, I'm just as shocked as you are about the matchmaking algorithm, but it definitely explains a lot of things. I will be adding information and sources in the description if you want to look more into it. If this video gave you some clarity or even made you feel a little bit less crazy, drop a like and hit that subscribe button, please. Tell me in the comments, have you felt the EOMM effect in your games, or do you think all of this is tinfoil hat energy and EOMM is just a bedtime story for tilted players? See you in the next one. Ciao!